Really, Rob Schneider? Before you made Norm of the North, you appeared in Norm of the North. You decided to appear in this abomination excuse of a film from 2001 called The Animal with a very awkward sense of humor, mean-spirited characters, confusing plot, everything I could say about it that makes this movie so bad. Really? The Animal? Are you kidding me? Cue the intro, please. What's up, guys? Jonathan's Media Corner here. Today, here's my review / rant on The Animal from 2001. Came in the year of 2001. It's basically what the plot is. In the town of Elkerton, you got Marvin Mang, who's played by Rob Schneider, who is an awkward, clumsy, nice guy that dreams of being a police officer like his dad. And he continuously attempts to pass the physical test to become a full-fledged police officer. Despite his repeated attempts, he is unable to finish the obstacle courses. And Marvin gets constantly mistreated by heartless and sleazy police sergeant Doug Sisk. And he works in a police station as an evidence clerk and is friends with the airport security guard named Miles, and who is a victim of reverse racism, and a fellow cadet named Fatty. One day, while alone at the station, he receives a robbery call from a restaurant that's owned by Mr. Tam. With no other officers responding to the call, he attempts to take it himself but ends up driving off the road, tumbling down a mountain and seriously injuring himself. And just as the car finally comes to a stop, and a boulder falls on top of it and he passes out. Days later, he returned to his normal life with no memory of what had happened. Suddenly, he's full of life, not noticing surgical marks on his back and fur on his rear end. Okay, that's really disturbing. And disgusting at the same time. Now he can outrun horses, mean dogs are now scared of him, and he does not need his asthma medicine. And he is synced due to his late-night TV purchase of Batch Milk, which is guaranteed in the ads to make him stronger. One day at the park, Marvin meets Rihanna while she's out walking her dogs. His animal-like tendencies are slowly taking him over. When the frisbee is thrown in his direction, he can't control himself and he jumps to catch it in his mouth. He goes to the airport to talk to Miles about his problem. While there, Marvin snips out a man trying to hide heroin in his rectum while uncovering a drug smuggler. He is then declared a hero and is made a full-fledged police officer by Chef Marion Wilson, who is played by Edward Asner. And as days go by, Marvin's animal instincts get stronger and he often wakes up in strange places and subsequently hears about animals attacks that occur in the middle of the night. Because of these attacks, the mad scientist Dr. Wilder believes that Marvin is out of control. And Dr. Wilder takes him to his laboratory and explains about the grafts and transplants that saved Marvin's life and gave him remarkable animal powers with certain troublesome side effects. Later at the party thrown by the mayor of Elkington, Marvin chases after a cat and destroys everything around him and gets fired by Chief Wilson as a result. During his reprimand, he hears something and jumps into a nearby lake and rescues the mayor's son using powers derived from a sea lion and a dolphin, and he is swiftly reinstated. Chief Wilson questions Marvin about the late-night attacks on cows that's owned by Bob Harris. Because one of the witnesses made a police sketch and it looks like Marvin, Chief Wilson puts Marvin on paid leave. Rihanna goes to Marvin's house where he has barricaded himself inside, and they spend the night together, and Marvin wants to be tied up so he cannot hurt anyone. And in the morning, he finds himself untied courtesy of Rihanna. Suddenly, the police shows up outside. An attack on Hunter later happened that night, and the police have come for Marvin. Rihanna convinces him to run. Marvin escapes to the woods where a huge chase ensues. The police have organized an angry mob as a search party to capture Marvin. While running through the woods, Marvin finds Dr. Wilder. The scientist tells him that there was another patient on his that is out of control, and he is on the woods looking for it. Dr. Wilder's pursuit and is hindered to getting claws on one of his feet. Sergeant Sisk confronts Marvin and is about to shoot him. Suddenly, the other animal jumps from a tree and defeats Sisk. The other animal is Rihanna, which is witnessed by Dr. Wilder, and Fatty, as she only attacked the hunter who would have attacked the turkey vulture that she released into the wild. Just then, the angry mob and the police arrive to take out Marvin. Miles takes the blame for everything and orders the mob to do what they should do. Once the mob thinks a black man was responsible, the mob members don't want to take action, causing Chief Wilson to call up the hunt, much to the dismay of Miles. 1 year later, Marvin and Rihanna got married, and they opened an animal sanctuary and have a litter of children that each look like Marvin while watching television. They see Dr. Wilder win the Nobel Prize, and he says he owes it to all Fiance Yolanda, who is the same woman from the Badger Milk commercial, and when she turns around to kiss him, there are large scars shown on her back, implying that Wilder performed the experiment on her as well. And that's basically what the plot for the entire movie is. What do I think about it? This was just a painful movie to sit through. This was such a huge pain in the ass to sit through. I want to talk about the characters. In the beginning, all of the characters were all mean-spirited to Marvin Mang. Like, wow. Never have I seen the characters that mean-spirited. Most of the characters either act too dopey, too awkward, or even too mean-spirited. No one is likable in this movie. No one. I cannot think of a character that's redeemable, likable, or actually makes themselves like good people. Everybody was just they just pretended to act. They acted either very awkwardly, cruelly, or very stupidly. And Rob Schneider just embarrassed himself. Throughout the entire film, Rob Schneider, all he ever did was just embarrass himself, acting like if something was going on with him. Like he turned into an animal. Like one scene where he played around with a mailbox and makes noises, and everybody was looking at him like something's wrong with him. And another one is he acts like a dog trying to catch this frisbee. Yeah. Trying to chase after a cat and acting like a dog. See what I mean? Rob Schneider did nothing but embarrass himself. Throughout the entire film, he did nothing but embarrass himself. This movie was a huge embarrassment for him. Why couldn't all the actors and actresses couldn't be in a much better movie than this? I mean, yeah. And Edward Asner, what were you doing? You were great with Disney and Pixar's Up and the Elf movie, but I don't know why you did so bad. Oh, and another thing, Rob Schneider ate out of the garbage, which is really disgusting. And the fart jokes, like, well, he had to use the bathroom, and then all of a sudden he farts, and Rihanna comes, and she's like, ugh. Really? You had to add fart jokes in this movie? That's really dumb. And the humor is very awkward as well. None of the jokes come out as clever or funny. It comes out as bland and really awkward, and just makes you like, okay, what the hell am I watching? Throughout the entire film, there is no real good sense of humor. No likable characters. Even the ending was pretty disturbing as well. And the plot, what could I say? The plot is such a huge mess. Felt like someone had ripped up the script and throw it in the trash can, and someone takes and puts it back together with tape, and they used it, and they just make this stupid movie called The Animal. Oh my god. And it's really confusing as well. Like, you can't even tell what the plot's about. I mean, what the story is like, I meant. Rob Schneider turning into an animal? Really? And another thing. What's with the disturbing images? Like, one guy has some hair in the rear end? Come on, that's not funny. That's really disturbing. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I used to like this movie back then. Back when I was like in 8th grade. But after watching back at it, I realized how horrible it aged. It aged very horribly. With awkward sense of humor, tawdry jokes. Yes, even the jokes I thought was very tawdry and not funny. Mean-spirited characters, bland music, confusing plot. I thought the directing was pretty bad. Everything I could say about The Animal, it's a pretty bad movie. It's bad. But if you still like it, you know what to do. I'm fine with your opinion. But to me, I think this is just one of the worst movies ever of 2001, along with the other films from 2001 I hate. There's so much better movies from 2001, like Moulin Rouge, Shrek, and Monsters Inc. and a few others. The Animal, it's not the type for me. So yeah, overall, it's awkward, confusing, and mean-spirited. And for my final rating, I'm gonna give this movie 1 out of 7. Horrendous movie. And there you go. That was my review / rant on The Animal. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications and send me a request, and I'll try to do them as soon as I could. This is Jonathan's Media Corner, signing off. Have a great day, stay safe, and peace out, y'all.